Welcome to 24 Hours Nothing But Net, the Georgia Amoore from Virginia Tech, Kentucky. What do you want us to say about you right now? You're kind of in between.
Look, I'm both. I'm both. Despite the reaction I got from leaving, I'm still a Hokie. I'm still going to graduate a Hokie. But I'm both. I claim both.
Well, you've put your 4.5 years in Blacksburg.
Yeah, and I
Is
had
it
a
fair
great
to
time. I
say?
loved every second.
And Blacksburg loved you right back, and so did all of the ACC, and so did college basketball. And you're an All-American, and you're just taking your talents to South Beach, which happens to be Lexington.
Yep, we'll find a name for it. I used to call Blacksburg Vegas, so we have to make one up for Lexington.
Well, Lexington is great. You're going to love Lexington, and the fans at Kentucky who absolutely love basketball are going to have a great appreciation for your skill set. How about going to Kentucky? Let's talk. Well, no, let's talk about Virginia Tech first. Let's finish this off because
Hmm.
you, along with your sidekick, Elizabeth Kitley, accomplished unprecedented things at that university. I would say sort of on the doorstep of the league and taking it to ascended to the highest level you can possibly go. What was that like along the journey, Georgia, and how satisfying is it for you?
Yeah, I mean, coming in, I had absolutely no idea this was going to all happen. I was just hoping that, I had some fun and played some good basketball. But, especially for me personally, it was last year, my junior year, where everything just took off around tournament time. Like I stepped into my role. And then this year, I think I had a really solid year. And obviously, Liz and I together as a package deal just dominated. And it was a lot of fun. And I don't think going into my freshman year that I thought it was going to play out the way it did. But all I did was work hard and trust Coach Brooks, and it paid off immensely. And obviously because of that, I had to follow him. I came to America because of him. He recruited me. He put in the work with me. He's transformed me as a player. I would not simply be the player I am today without him. So I thought at the end of the day, it's only right that I would follow him.
And as basketball fans, we're all grateful for every bit of sweat equity you put into it because you have polished your game into a remarkable player and one that we know we're going to be cheering for many decades. So you're going to graduate from Virginia Tech. You're going to get your undergrad, and then you're going to go to Lexington. You're going to get your master's degree, and you're going to play 1 year in the SEC. What are you most looking forward to about being at Kentucky?
Yeah, I think, you know, the ACC was great. Had so much fun. I think it's very guard focused, and I think for me to prep into potentially playing pro or playing overseas or wherever the wind blows me, I think SEC and their defense and the athleticism and just the different pace of that game, I'll get a taste of that for a year. And I think getting a taste of different conferences and how the style of play. Obviously, I'm following Coach Brooks. Like obviously, our style of play is going to be the same of what it's been. Like it's worked for him. Obviously, he's going to keep that, but just being exposed to different types of teams and philosophies, it's going to equip me well for future when I play against or with different teams who have different philosophies. And I'm excited for it. It's going to be a challenge playing teams like South Carolina. Like I've avoided them for the past 4 years. Now I have to finally go against them. Like it's going
Yeah.
to be great experiences. I'm nervous. I'm excited, but I think that's life. And if I'm not feeling all those things, then I'm wasting my life.
So in football, quarterbacks usually bring their receivers to camp early, right? So they
Mhm.
can work on some routes and work on, the different schemes that they have in football. In basketball, it was you and Kitley all the time, two-man game, constantly
Mhm.
perfecting that aspect of the game. How's Strack going to be able to handle all the demands that you're going to put on her to be Elizabeth Kitley this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, can I be like that big assist and develop her? Yeah, I can, but I think our relationship it's growing. I wouldn't say it's fulfilled into what it's going to be by halfway through the next season. Obviously, we have a lot way to go. But she listens to me. I respect her, and I hope that she knows that. And I think the biggest part that made Liz and I so good is our relationship. It had nothing to do with the skill. I read her, she read me. It was a mutual relationship. Like we knew for the sake of the team, like we had to get along. We had to know each other like the back of each other's hands. And that's something that Claire is going to have to learn going into next year. Our relationship's going to have to be solid. It's going to have to be strong. I'm going to have to know what she likes, and she's going to have to know what I like. So it's obviously going to take some time. And the only thing we can do is just work out together, getting those extra reps, maybe 10 minutes extra a day of just doing pick and rolls or post entries. Like it's going to pay off eventually. But, for me, I'm starting off at square one with her, trying to build that up. Whereas Liz and I were a complete package of 4 years. Like, you can't really put 4 years into the 1 year you're gonna have with Clara. But I'm gonna do my best, and I love her, and I hope that she loves me to an extent, so we'll see how it goes.
I know it's going to work because you answer the 3 W's: who to get the ball to, when, where. That's what you do as a point guard. That's who you are. And so anybody that gets a chance to get the ball on the receiving end is going to get it in a place where they can be successful. So that I know I can count on and trust, and I'm looking forward to watching it. All right. So, what are you studying?
I'm gonna get my degree in sociology. I, initially came in and I wanted to do, like advertising or nutrition. I was a bit undecided, but, I realized that my credits weren't gonna transfer over once I graduated to Australia. I would have to do more university, and I said, "Look, I'm here to get buckets. I'm not here to get school." As much as a student athlete, I love me some basketball. I'm here for basketball. I would have stayed home if I wanted to go to school.
Yeah, there you go. I'm good with
So I
that.
got the
I'm good with
yeah.
that.
So I got the degree that, I could potentially use at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, graduating in sociology.
All right. Well, when you picked up on the Zoom, what were you studying?
Well, I was looking at my Opals playbook, you know.
Yes!
The
Opals! That's the
Opals,
Australian
yeah.
national team.
Yes, I was. I was added to
Well,
the squad, and I'm off to China, at the end of May, which will be exciting. Play a couple of
it's
games and get to know
about
the
damn
girls.
time. It's about damn time. Yes, I mean, I know personally on the air, I wondered many times what was the Australian national team looking at if they weren't watching you.
I mean, I appreciate words. I'm sure whatever you said on any broadcast pushed them over the edge. But no, it's exciting
Yeah.
times, and I'm very thankful that I was chosen to be in the squad.
You know what? You deserve it because you've worked hard and you've grown in your game. You don't have to be over there to grow in your game. You can grow in your game here. All they're trying to do is beat the Americans, which you know is not going to happen, but you can give it a good
Maybe I know them a bit better now that I've spent 4 years here.
maybe.
Maybe I'm the secret little weapon, intel.
Yeah, so Georgia, your relationship with Elizabeth is very well documented, and then that means not only your relationship with Liz, but your relationship with Raven.
Hmm.
And Raven is a young person living with autism who is Elizabeth Kitley's sister. Her story and their story has been very well documented, but you've been a big part of that story. When you
Hmm.
watch the relationship between Elizabeth and Raven, it's normal, it's typical. There's nothing exceptional or different about it. Why do you think people are so unwilling to be tolerant and accepting of people that have differences?
I I don't know, because as soon as I met Raven, I was like, I'm treating you like my sister. Like, and that's I give her the same amount of energy, and I treat her the way I would treat my sister Gemma. And I don't. There's nothing in my head that is like she's any different than anyone else. Like, and she loves that. That's why Raven and I relationship is so funny, because it's just I give her flack, she gives me flack. It's reciprocated. We have fun. But I don't know. It's something that bothers me for sure, because
Mhm.
differences don't separate us. They don't, regardless of what they are.
Our differences should somewhat unite us because
Yeah,
we need people that are different around us, that have different thoughts, different opinions, think differently. I think it's all a part of us coming together, actually.
yeah.
So what we're doing is 24 hours, nothing but net, free throw shooting for 24 hours. I make 100 on the top of every hour for 24 hours. It's quite an incredible fitness challenge for me. But Special Olympics is important in this country. It's important in Australia. It's important everywhere. When you think about the movement for Special Olympics around inclusion and acceptance and using sport as a vehicle, what comes to mind?
I want to circle back to Raven, because you talk about inclusion, and she's a part of this team. She's been a part of this team. We affect her as much as she does us. And honestly, like, we could have the worst game. I could have the worst game of my life, and I get in that car and Raven's talk to me like I'm human. She's not talking to me like I'm the basketball player that just had 9 turnovers. Like, it's so refreshing, and it's just like it puts everything into perspective. Sport should be fun. It should be enjoyed. It should be played to create relationships and have friends. And I think, the Special Olympics is indicative of that. It's not them stressing about points, turnovers, or if they played well, or if they got blown by. Like, they look at the little nuggets that you take away from it, not the stats. And I think, if we treated sport like that, like, it probably would be more enjoyable. People would have a lot more fun, and it'll be a lot less tense. Like, that's what it is. It's a game. Like, we're so grateful and blessed to be able to play a game.
you bring it into such incredible context around the landscape of sport right now, because as a college athlete, there's a chance to benefit off your name, image, and likeness. There's collective
Mhm.
money, other things. But no matter what the price tag is or the amount of money that is involved, I've never seen you lose your joy for playing. Where does that
Mm-mm.
come from?
Perspective. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that I've loved it all my life. Like, growing up, it was hard, trying to play and make teams, and it's cutthroat, and I get to college in my freshman year, I'm not great at all. I've got Coach Brooks ripping me every practice, and I think, as soon as I shifted perspective and just think, "How lucky am I to get a scholarship? How lucky am I to be in the States?" Like, it's you find the little things. I have great joy in my relationships. I have great joy in my relationship with my teammates and my coaches and what I can give to them and what they give to me. It's just bigger picture, really.
And that's why you're going to be a fan favorite in the University of Kentucky, wearing that beautiful Kentucky blue. Big Blue Nation is getting lucky to get you, and of course to have Kenny as well. The resources there are comparable to what a championship culture should look like, and you're going to definitely add a lot to what they're doing. So, Georgia, you know what? We're going to keep following you. We're going to keep bugging you to come on 24 hours, nothing but that. We're going to keep asking you to be a part of what we're doing because we need the positivity and the incredible attitude that you bring. And I know for ACC fans, they're going to be probably a lot of coaches are happy you're gone, and there's probably some players that are happy you're gone. But for those of us that really enjoy watching you play, we're going to keep an eye on you as you move on to Kentucky and to the Opals this summer, which is fantastic.
Perfect. I appreciate the kind word, Debbie. Very grateful to have you, in my corner, and very grateful that we crossed paths.
Well,
Seriously, great
actually,
person.
you're never going to be done with me because I had a first happen in Blacksburg this year. I went to lunch with you and Elizabeth, and you picked up the tab.
I did.
I owe you lunch,
Well,
and I
we schedule it soon.
I will. I will repay you at some point when you're not expecting it. But I had a wonderful
Perfect.
day with you and Elizabeth that day, hanging out with you two, practice, working out in the gym, and then
Hmm.
going over to your apartment and eating some Tim Tams and some tea. What we did the whole Australian thing, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we ticked every
Great.
box. Great night.
You got a lot of snacks in your closet. I will say that. I did see a
I
sweet
do.
I
It's
think
really bad.
Kentucky basketball fans need to know if they want to get to your heart, it's through your sweets.
Yes. But if you wanna keep me fit and on the court, then don't be too tempted to give me too much because I will lose complete control.
Maybe they'll send you some tea instead.
Yes, I will take a
Okay.
tea.
All right, Georgia. We are so grateful for your time. That's Georgia Amoore, one of the great players in college basketball this season. If you didn't get a chance to see her play for the Hokies, you're going to get the chance to see her play for the Kentucky Wildcats. Congratulations, Georgia.
Thank you.